The formerly popular all-you-can-eat chain once had more than 600 locations to its name. But as of 2023, they're down to a mere 13, many or all of which appear to be standing but not actually operating. What could be the blame for this downfall? As it turns out, bankruptcy is the culprit, and multiple filings at that. The first time happened in 2008, and then again in 2012, and once more in 2016 as well. That latter filing was precipitated by a lawsuit involving salmonella that lost the franchise millions when it was already in financial turmoil. By the time that Old Country Buffet filed for its fourth bankruptcy in 2021, its parent company, Barbecue Holdings, had pretty much thrown in the towel for good. Since poor Old Country Buffet is basically dead already, we're hoping that it just gets put out of its misery sooner rather than later. While it might seem impossible that a burger chain as iconic as Steak 'n Shake could be destined for eternal doom, the evidence speaks for itself. The company's footprint has been slowly and quietly diminishing for a while now. In 2018, QSR Magazine reported that the chain had 626 locations under its belt. By 2022, the number had been reduced to just over 500. Now, at the end of 2023, there are a total of 493 Steak 'n Shakes across the United States. But surprisingly enough, as reported by Restaurant Business, the franchise's overall sales actually improved throughout 2023. Despite that good news, Steak 'n Shake continues to close multiple locations. This pattern might seem strange, but strange or not, restaurants being shut down with no sign of stopping is never a good sign. We're keeping our fingers crossed that the coming years don't see Steak 'n Shake completely disappearing. After all, their steak burgers are pretty undeniably delicious. If you're a fan and happen to drive by a local spot, then you just might want to consider stepping inside and showing some love. After all, it's looking like you might not have that many opportunities left to do so. Crystal is a burger chain known for its beefy creations, melty breakfast sandwiches, loaded hot dogs, tater tots, and fries. Founded in Tennessee during the Great Depression, Crystal has been serving up deliciousness for nearly a century. But its performance over the last few years is making observers wonder how much longer those burgers will continue to sizzle on their grills. As reported by Restaurant Business, Crystal filed for bankruptcy in 2020 and was sold to Fortress Investment Group. The new owners developed a plan that involved selling restaurants in an attempt to stimulate growth and profits. The process of refranchising in this manner can take a while, though. Considering Crystal's drastic demise over the past 10 years, we'd be surprised if it has the time to wait for a salvation that's far from guaranteed. Sometimes the best intentions don't yield the best results, and this is especially true in the restaurant business. Pie 5 is a quick-stop chain offering personal make-it-your-way pizzas that seem to be the perfect example of a great idea that just didn't quite pan out. While Pie 5 was developed mainly for college campuses, shopping malls, and other areas where people are looking for some quick pizza, the concept hasn't taken off as hoped. As reported by Restaurant Business, about 2/3 of the original Pie 5 locations have shuttered their doors for good. Fortunately for the owner of Pie 5, Rave Restaurant Group, they also operate another original cheese and sauce chain called Pizza Inn, and it's doing much better. Rave reportedly plans to slowly integrate its more successful business into the failing one by selling pizza branded as Pizza Inn on the Pie 5 shelves. Ultimately, it looks like Pie 5 will be phased out until it's nothing more than a sauce-filled memory. Pancho's Mexican Buffet is one of those chains that peaked in the 90s and early 2000s. Nostalgic customers now reminisce online about the once popular chain's jingle, which used to play on TV pretty much nonstop.
Still hungry?
Raise the fat! Raise the fat! However, Pancho's has sadly and slowly dwindled since its golden age, from around 140 locations at its prime, all the way down to just 2, both in Texas. Though it's hard to determine exactly what has led to its demise, the trouble seems to have begun when the company came under new ownership in 2001. The 2 remaining locations are still serving all-you-can-eat tacos and sopapillas, but it seems like they've been struggling for a while. In 2021, customers flocked to the doors of one of the final Panchos for what they thought would be their final meal there, after a rumored permanent shutdown was reported by local news. Strangely, though, that closure never happened, though we wouldn't be surprised if it does end up happening very soon. Fur's is a cafeteria-style chain that was hit incredibly hard during the COVID-19 pandemic. It closed all of its locations following the height of the virus, and to the dismay of loyal customers, they've never opened back up. As of 2023, all of Fur's locations still remain unused, while some have even been demolished. But a recent unexpected glimmer of hope has been ignited in Lubbock, Texas. Rumors of a potential resurrection were reported on the website for the Lone Star 99.5 radio station. While the abandoned Furs in Lubbock was torn down in 2022, a local restaurant called the Escondido Grill is reportedly assembling Furs' most popular recipes for an event to highlight its lost tastes. Few details have been released about what exactly this celebration will entail, but it will no doubt be full of nostalgia. However, we wonder if this brief and almost torturous resurrection will only serve to prolong the passing of the Furs era. Piccadilly Restaurants opened its doors for the first time back in 1932 as a single buffet-style cafeteria. It didn't begin its expansion until 1944 when a new and ambitious owner swooped in and developed it into a popular chain that spread across the South. Following the popular all-you-can-eat trend of the time, Piccadilly enjoyed success as a beloved restaurant that faithfully fed throngs of hard-working American families. However, as it stands in 2023, things are not exactly looking good for Piccadilly, as the chain continues to close multiple locations. In Jacksonville, Florida, for example, there were headlines around the shutdown of one particular Piccadilly that had been serving locals for 50 years.
It's just hard. Very hard. Gonna get me crying. So.
And this is hardly the first closing that the company has dropped on consumers without any warning or explanation. Similar occurrences have also recently happened in the bustling cities of Alexandria and Gonzales, Louisiana. Since the company has remained tight-lipped as to the reasons why it appears to be downsizing, we can only speculate about what's causing the trouble. Could an antiquated business model centered around buffet dining be at the heart of the problem? We can't say for certain, but we will be watching and waiting to see what happens in Piccadilly's near future.
Yay!